What's up, everybody? Alright, so I was just driving down the road and I was thinking about this and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video because y'all follow me for OBS stuff. Well, some of you guys do, but either way, my point is that if you have an OBS or you've owned one, you know that, sometimes the fuel gauge doesn't work, so you got that fucking mystery tank. And I got the mystery tank. My front tank's a mystery tank. My rear tank, it works fine. So I drove my rear tank around and it was almost empty, so I left like a little bit in it and I was like, I'm gonna drain this mystery tank because I'm waiting for payday. And so I drove all the way into town. I drove all the way back into the house, drove back into town, and I'm driving all over town, right? And then I thought I felt it stutter, and I'm like, oh shit, because if you don't switch it in time, then it's like, you gotta switch it. So I switched the tank, and I used the other tank, got home. And then I needed to go back into town, and my other tank didn't have quite enough, and I'm like, oh, by the way, I live 60 miles out of town, okay? So I'm like, well, I wonder how far I could get on the mystery tank and if it was actually empty or not. So I flip the switch and I start heading into town, right? And I'm almost to town right now. And I'm thinking about this and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna make it back into town on this mystery tank. I don't know exactly what size the tank is. I think it's a 15 or 17, but I was just doing some math here. And if it's 15 gallons, then that means that if I'm using under a quarter of a tank to go to town, then that means I'm using like 2.5 gallons or so. And this isn't exact math, but that means I'm getting close to about 25 miles to the gallon in an OBS 7.3 powerstroke with stage 2 injectors, a wicked wheel compressor side turbo, on 37s lifted 6 inches, crew cab long bed. I think I weigh like 7,000 pounds or something. That's fucking badass. I was just making a video. I thought it was good. I thought you guys would enjoy it. Because people are always like, what kind of fuel mileage you get? Well, I don't know exactly, but I hope that answers some questions.